Today, let's explore developing your intuition. Hi, I'm Dr. Heidi Heron. Welcome to our fourth and final series of intuition. If you haven't caught all of the videos, head back to the YouTube channel and take a look at all of them. We are on a month of exploring intuition. Intuition is that internal guiding system, that felt sense that comes from that universal consciousness that helps us to know that we're on the right track or where to go or what decisions to make. And everyone has intuition. Sometimes we don't know it, sometimes we don't trust it. Sometimes we don't know how to get in touch with it, or we confuse it, as we looked at in the last couple of videos, with feelings and emotions or with our internal dialogue. But what we've gathered over the past few videos, just a little catch up for you, and also go back and watch them. They're only a few minutes each. But what we've gathered is that everyone has that sense of intuition. Usually, intuition comes from our core, our gut or lower, internal or an external awareness and knowingness, where we have an idea, a guidance system of I need to do that, I don't know why, or I need to say no, I'm not really sure why, just that inner felt sense. We've also identified that it's probably more important to be intuitive about you and about your life versus an external clairvoyant intuitiveness, which is telling other people your intuition for them. While that might be relevant, we've also talked about either asking for permission or framing it in a way that if I'm intuitive about someone else's life, it says, I say something like, I'm not sure why I think this, but here's what's coming to me. Take it or leave it, versus telling somebody, because oftentimes we are mind reading and not correct, or we're using our empathy or empathic elements, which is also not intuition. So today I'd like to talk to you about developing your intuition, because everybody has it. Not everybody trusts it, understands it, believes it, or even gets in touch with it. The couple of things that might be holding us back from being intuitive or trusting that intuition is fear or self-doubt. If I have a fear about what it is, maybe I've watched a movie about somebody who has intuition and they know what's coming up, or I think that maybe it's voodoo or magic. Maybe there's some fear there, or maybe the fear is coming up because I don't really want to know what I know. But we already know what we know. We just don't know that we know what we know, you know? But we all have intuition. Sometimes it's just self-doubt, a doubt that I don't trust what it is that's coming up for me because I've been wrong in the past, or I've thought my feelings have been my intuition, or my internal dialogue was my intuition before, and that proved me wrong because those weren't intuition. I can tell you this, when you are able to tap into your intuition and trust it and help it help you, life will become easier. Life will become easier. I believe that we are all one. We are all interlaced and connected. There is only one running in us, through us, as us, of us. And this universal consciousness knows everything that's going on. Not in a dictatorial way, not in a way that is fated, because I'm not really sure about fate yet, still exploring that one. But I do believe that the choices that we make lead to tomorrow. And I think the universe knows what's happening and can help guide us into directions of what is possible. And when we can listen to that, and I say listen, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a word. It doesn't mean that my ears will actually hear anything. Intuition sometimes comes up just as a knowingness or a felt sense, a feeling. Sometimes it's a word, a picture, a guidance, a pull, a push, a block, a hold. Because sometimes intuitively, it's okay to stop. Intuitively, I mentioned the other week, I'm working on a project right now that I'm just in stop mode because my intuitiveness says I don't have everything yet. And I just have to be patient, which is not always easy for me because I'm very much a doer. So to be patient and not do anything is actually doing something. Okay, meditation. I don't know if you meditate, but I'm going to invite you to meditate. In fact, I have a small meditation for us today, and I will create a couple more as well. There's a wonderful visioning process about our future. And it's a beautiful, intuitive, guided system. So I will record a visioning session at some point and add it to my YouTube channel too, so you can come back and back and back. This next thing that I'd like to guide you through. So if you're walking or driving, just keep your eyes where you're going and just listen without actually moving off into la la land. If you're in a space where you can sit and just be for a second, maybe even close your eyes and stop listening to me, that's awesome. And then you can also come back and do this again and again and again. The purpose of this short guided visualization or meditation, and it'll be short, 3 minutes maybe, is simply to tune you into that intuitive sense inside of you, connecting outside. And we're going to ask a question in here. And the question is something like, what direction do I need to go right now? Or what's the next step? Or show me the next step, or guide me, guide me. Just a very open thing. And I would recommend you do something like this. It doesn't have to be guided from me, but doing something like this once a day, maybe in the shower, maybe before you get out of bed, or as you're eating breakfast, or in your contemplative moment of the day, on the drive home, on the bus or train to work, on your walk. And when we can tap in and just become aware, we're developing our intuition. What we're not looking for, we're not looking for an answer. We're not listening for a voice to come in and say, today you need to play the lottery and the numbers are. Wouldn't that be nice? That's not intuition. That's wishful thinking. I don't want you to make it happen or try and make it happen. If you're highly intuitive, there's a good chance that you will do great at this. If you're still developing it, you're developing it. ING creates action in there, which means it's a process in motion. Let it be that way. And it'll get better and better and better over time. But keep doing it. Keep developing the muscle. I'll give you a couple other tricks that you can do in a moment. But go ahead and close your eyes. Close your eyes and just let yourself be for a moment. Again, if you're driving or you're walking, just keep your eyes on the road, keep your eyes open, and just tune into my words, but stay focused and let your conscious and unconscious mind be driving or walking. But if you're in a spot where you can just relax, do that. Do that. And just take a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. A couple deep breaths just to relax. And as you listen to me, if your mind wanders, that's okay, just bring it back. But do your best to just focus on your breath and relax your body as much as possible. And sometimes we need to do this for a few minutes. We're just going to do it for a moment today. But sometimes we need to let the day drift away. Let the thoughts drift away. And a tip for meditation is anytime your mind starts to wander and you start to think about something else other than right here, right now, my voice and you, just come back. That's it. Just be aware of it and come back to my voice. And as you exhale on this next breath, imagine that you can move your awareness out of your mind, out of your head, and drop it into your body, deep into your body. Let it rest in your solar plexus, your stomach, your gut, your core chakra, your root chakra. And then take another breath. And as you exhale, let your awareness move into a very quiet space. And just repeating this until you come to a very deep, restful space. It's often this quiet place inside, or maybe it's just outside, that you naturally have access to your intuition, your inner guidance. It's this wise part of you that lives within you in this deep place within, and it knows exactly what you need at every moment. So just being quiet without looking for an answer or making anything happen. Ask yourself, what do I need to be most aware of right now? What do I need to remember or be most aware of right now? What do I need to remember or be aware of right now? You could ask many other questions, but let's keep it simple. What do I need to remember or be aware of most right now? And then just rest quietly, being open for whatever comes. If a thought or feeling or image comes to you, just notice it. If nothing comes, notice that. Just take whatever comes and be with it for a little while. It's not necessary to understand it. Just be with it in a receptive way. And if nothing happens, that's okay too. Don't try and make things happen. That trying just gets in the way of the process of intuition. Trust your own experience. What do I need to remember or be most aware of now? What do I need to remember or be most aware of now? And when you're complete, begin to notice your breath again. Become aware of how your body feels, notice your surroundings, and then go ahead and open your eyes and come back to me. If something came up, you might want to write it down. I have a journal for such things that I just write down a few words and boom. And while your eyes were closed, we got a Frankie hanging out in the bed. It's so wonderful to know that our unconscious and higher conscious mind knows where we're going, what we're doing, what we need. And when we can tune into it, it just makes it easier to pay attention, easier to focus, easier to know. But sometimes it takes time. It's a muscle, that intuitive muscle. You've all got it. We've all got muscles in our body of all shapes and sizes, and they do different things. This is no different. Sometimes it just takes a moment or a week or a month to get the conscious thinking out of there. But the more you can just let it be. And I would even recommend doing it in short spurts like that, 3-5 minutes. Because if you can sit for 3 or 5 minutes and just let your mind empty and tap into that intuitive sense, then you're also learning how to build that muscle for it to come up just in the moment. And then from a meditative standpoint, if you want to become a better meditator and let the day go and multiply your intuitive sense, then you can so and just let it stretch, let that time of your meditation stretch. Some people I know meditate for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day or every few days, and that's okay too. We don't have to be, meditating yogis that are meditating for an hour or two every day. You can be if that's going to help you, by all means. Another thing to do is in that space. So a couple of tricks to play with yourself. Get a deck of cards, just ace, king, queen, those kind of cards, and get into that space of that knowingness, out of your head and just have a deck of cards. And in your mind, choose the color of the card. Start with the color of the card. And then open your eyes, turn over a card and see if it's that color. People do increase their intuitive sense using this because we're tapping out of our conscious mind, our rational mind, our feeling mind, our guessing mind, and going intuitively inside. There's a cool book, Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. If you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it. And it's talking about this intuition, but it's talking about it from a scientific aspect that we know, like our brain triggers that we have an answer, X number of milliseconds before we have an answer. So we already know before we know. And a lot of that comes from our intuition. A lot of it comes from other things too, but it's an intuitive felt sense about something. Again, the more you can be connected to your intuition, the easier life will be. So an exercise like the one we did today, do that each day. And you can ask different questions. What I asked today was, what do I need to remember or know most today? That might not have been the question because I don't know what the question was, or be aware of. What do I need to remember or be aware of most right now? It could be something like, should I take this job? Or what's the next move? Is this the right decision? What's your guidance for me today? It could be anything. Dropping into your soul space, whatever nugget you would like to have more understanding about, and letting your higher conscious mind get involved and play. Your higher conscious mind, your unconscious mind, your conscious mind, and your future self will all thank you for developing your intuition. For now, I would thank you by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and even sharing it with someone. I've got lots and lots of videos about all kinds of things, mostly NLP related. I hope that you enjoy them all. See you next time.